All right. Hello. Welcome, everybody. I am D. Leonard Hughes of the D. Leonard Hughes Personal Development Institute. It's such a pleasure to be coming to you on this beautiful Friday evening. Listen, folks, I need you to go. I need you to hit like those that's on our 5 platforms of Facebook, and we're building our excuse me. We're building our YouTube page. So go over to UPS, go over to YouTube, D. Leonard Hughes Personal Development Institute, and hit that like button. Also, we don't have any major companies or organizations or denominations, however you want to put it, backing us. Amen. So I appreciate the support you give, but most important thing, hit the like button on Facebook. Also hit the like button on YouTube. So folks, we got something very wonderful. Hold on, let's see something going on here. Wonderful lined up for you on tonight. Why don't you get somebody and call them and share and let them know that we're that we're on this wonderful Jalen. Hey, young preacher, how you doing, man? Let me get my everything set up here. This will be an experience to help you all really understand what mind renewal is and the brain part. All of it works together, neuroplasticity. You're going to understand that. You got to realize something. We are fearfully and we are wonderfully and fearfully, either way, fearfully and wonderfully made. In order to understand who we are, we've got to understand how we're made, and we were really fearfully and wonderfully made in everything that we've been made in the natural or brain patterns. It results of the renewing of the plastic part of the mind, the flexibility of the mind. So we're going to get into that. I want you to get some folk, let some folk, and then we're going to probably deal with, as we usually do, I do little political commentaries at the end, just to comment, and you decide where we are, because you cannot separate where we are. Those of us that's kingdom-minded, that's really what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be doing all that stuff in Washington is what we're supposed to be doing. But because we're kind of thrown off into other things, we don't find ourselves doing that. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get myself situated here. Okay. I kind of built the studio here, and I'm still learning different things and prefer help in social media. You notice I didn't say I need help. That's one word. It's not good to use, need, because it shows a sign of lack, a sign of don't having, a not having. So I always say I prefer this, I prefer that. Using your word, your confession, doesn't matter what other people think or feel. You're doing what you're doing for yourself. There's my mother, Lois McRae. She's tuned in. All of those on the other platforms, YouTube, Twitter. We welcome you. I can't see everybody. I only have 2 eyes and about 1, 2, 3 4 screens, and then light. So I can't. I'll be looking all over the place. What are you looking at? Okay. So we're talking about neuroplasticity, which comes from renewing of your mind. You can't get anywhere if you don't renew. Welcome all of you that's coming on. You can't get anywhere without renewing your mind. And renewing your mind is not just reading the Bible. Okay, that's the foundation, those of you that's on it from the religious community. But there's self-help, there's self-care, there's personal development, there's career development. You have to go on a journey. The reason why you're not seeing your manifestation, child of God, is because you are not developed yourself. There's a passage in the Christian Bible that says he's already given us everything, first of all, that pertaineth to life and godliness. So life first and godliness. I think a lot of church folks got it mixed up. They know about godliness, but they don't know about life. You got it. I've been doing this 47 years full time, 61 years old, and I'm still learning. Every day I get up and say, one thing I know is I know nothing. And in doing that, it keeps my mind open for empowering wisdom, empowering knowledge. So neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to change, to rewire. This is what renewing of the mind is about. It's like rewiring. You come in and rewire a house, you change this, you change that. You're going to have to do that. That's not nothing. Nobody else can do it for you. Even as a coach, even as a psychologist, those as psychiatrists, we can't do it for you. We can only give you the tools and give you the pathways to start and getting what you want and getting your mind renewed. You can do anything you want to do. If your mind is not renewed and you are not developing, because the more you attract what you believe, not what you want. Can I say it again? You attract what you believe and not what you want. So I've often said the last couple of weeks that what is your belief system? Jalen, a belief is thinking a thought over and over and over and over. And the more you think it, it becomes a part of what? Becomes a part of your belief system. Okay, and this is where neuroplasticity comes in changing, rewiring. You got to rewire. And that rewiring process takes new tools. Rewiring yourself. Hey, Sister Grace, others that are coming on, those that I don't see, you have to understand if I don't mention you because I can't see you on the other platform. So let me tell you something now. When you go on you gotta stop thinking religiously. You got to start thinking a spiritual mind. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, and I'm spiritual minded. Okay. But I understand that whatever's going to take place, it has to take place within first. Stop looking on the out. Stop trying to change on the out. Stop trying to change people. Stop trying to get mad at the weather. I found myself a little bit because I love rain. So I lived in Seattle for a little while. Because I love rain, and here in the East Coast in Jersey, we're not getting a lot of rain. So a couple of times I felt myself fussing with the weather. But you realize those are the things that we cannot control. We can't change. Wish we could change the weather and get more rain. Even in the wintertime, we didn't have any snow. So you understand that. So neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to change, to rewire, to relearn. Okay, where attention flows is where your life goes. I need somebody to put that in. I don't know, Tanisha, whether you're on or not, but where your attention goes is where your life flows. Your life flows in the direction of the attention that you are putting out. I want to really talk to y'all tonight. I really want you to get it because you're wrestling. I'm going to do a wake up tomorrow. If you don't once again, hit that like button. Let us know that you're there. Thank you, Jalen. Hit that like button. I'm going to do a wake up, I think, for tomorrow. And it deals with mental wake up. I do every day. If you don't get one, inbox me, let me know. And I'll add you to the database, and then you'll get one every day. But I started right before I came on. And I said, okay, because that's how it comes. The morning wake ups, because like a songwriter, it just comes, and I just start going on my phone and start typing, and it just all comes together. But I'm going to talk about that. I think tomorrow. How many arguments you have in your head? You're arguing with yourself. You're arguing with somebody that's been gone 10, 12 years ago. You're arguing with you. You just got a big old argument going in your head. I'm going to have to do a wake up on, not just a wake up, but a show on that, a coaching show also on that, these inter-arguments, inter-dialogues that's going on. One of the main areas of developing neuroplasticity is your inner conversation. Your inner conversation. You say, well, I don't know what else to think. I don't know what other conversation. Well, that comes with knowledge. That comes with expanding your awareness of different of things and mindfulness and meditation that Joshua 1, meditate that day and night. It comes through meditation, but most of us won't sit still long enough. We haven't trained our brain. We don't practice meditation, or we don't practice slowing our mind down. When you, even throughout the day, when you find stuff overwhelmed, that's the time to do your breathing. That's the time to calm yourself down, okay? That's the time to understand, okay, I got to work on this area. I got to work on that area. You got to see you. And it's really serious. It's for real. Once you get into this, you really don't have time for nobody else. Your job is to develop. You can't develop people. You can't fix people. You can't fix your children. You can't fix your siblings. Can't fix those folks, okay? Only one you can fix is you. And it starts with your thinking. It starts with your emotion. You start in areas that you don't put as a victim, but you hit areas in your life that you say, okay, I need to improve in that, because it have developed a pattern of thinking now. When I don't want to think, well, you're always thinking. No such thing as not want to think. You're always thinking, whether you realize it or not, and some thoughts can captivate you. But take your attention off of all of that. You can't focus because your attention is everywhere. Your attention is on other folks' business and other folks' problems. Why they dealing with this? You don't know and they don't know. One thing I've learned in coaching and counseling, most of the time, the things that people have in their head, that's a problem, or this wrong and that wrong, it's not true. It's only their perception. And even whatever comes, you give it a different perspective. It's an old saying, whether the glass is half full or half empty. That's how you have to deal with life. And those are the haves and have-nots, the makers and the don't make it, is because it's the ones that look at your situation different and sit down and see, is it a real situation that you're dealing with, or is it a fear-based situation? Because once you're making decisions in fear, or you're moving in a fear-based, all kind of it, because once you think a thought, I think it's 16 seconds, all the thoughts like it begin to come. Okay, so this is a constant thing, and this is why only 10% of the people really break into the level of success, because most folks don't want to do the mental work and the emotional work to develop yourself. Now, some folks get there by default, and you ask them how they got there, they don't know. Okay. So my training for you, my coaching for you, is that you're headed there, but with the teachings with Dealing the Hughes Personal Development Institute, you'll understand how you got there, what principles, what mental principles, what did you use to get there. That's the kind of impact that we have to have. Again, a lot of people make it on default, okay, but they never develop. You got sports figures that become making 7 figures. Okay, but they're not developed. They never developed themselves. You got entertainers, you got movie stars, and you wonder, well, how can they have money? Doesn't develop you. You have to develop yourself before you get money, because if not, money can destroy an undeveloped person. There's nothing wrong with this money, but it's the hand and the mind that's behind it, helping you understand what's happening in our world, what people are doing, why people are doing it, because it's their perception or their belief system. Why is President Putin doing what he's doing in Russia? Because he's got his own perception. And his perception is that he's trying to take over Ukraine because he's got something in his own head. Doesn't mean he's right, but he's following what's in his mind. And that's what we do. We operate on what's in our mind. We operate on what's in our thought. Change the thought, change the person. Change the thought, change the person. Change the thought. Your life will not change until your thinking changes. What did I said last Sunday? What is last Friday? What is your belief system about money? When you hear the word money, what happens within you? What do you feel? Do you feel I don't deserve it? Do you feel I'll never have it? Do you feel it'll be a long time coming? Do you feel those other folks can have it? Those rich folks got it and they must be crooked. That's where they got it. That's your belief system. So you have to sit down and see, why are you believing something about something? Because your empowerment comes through your belief system. Again, you don't get what you want. You become what you want, but you get what you believe you are or what's going on. See, that's the force of faith. That's the confidence of understanding. And I did a scripture. Let me say this. This is from the Christian community, but this is not a religious platform. It's not a church platform, but it is a Christ awareness In coaching, I make you aware of the Christ in you or the I amness of God that's in you. That's what I do. Get to the core of you. I'm going for the core of you. I understand conventional psychology, the route they go, but I've got a route that I go that's even effective. I don't knock what they do because it helped people way before I got into this. So I understand it. But 1 John 5:15 says, and we know that he hears us. There has to be an awareness of knowing. There has to be an awareness of you got to know what you know, what you know. You haven't gotten it because you don't know that you already got it. The reason why it's not manifesting, again, because you got to know that you know what's going on and what's happening. You got to know that I already have it. It's already in my vibration, is already there. He's already put it there. He's already given us everything. So the awareness is knowing. So if you already got it, why do people wrestle in their prayer life? I want to bring, it's not a church community, but I want to bring this up because it's a Christ-based community. Why do people wrestle in their prayer life? Excuse me. If you already have it, that he hear us. If you believe he hear you, why do people say, I've got to bombard heaven? I need 10 people. I need you to agree with me. I need you to lift me up. Lift you up where? Where am I lifting you up to? Come on. Christ is in you. You don't know how to lift you up in prayer. Lift yourself up. In your thinking, in your feeling, in your information. You got to lift yourself up. You got to believe that he hears you. Let me say it again. You got to believe, well, I don't have an no, it's not so much the answer. You're looking for an answer in a particular area, or you're looking for the answer to come through a particular person, and it doesn't work like that. I did it, my wake up today was life doesn't go as planned. And I always go as you plan it. Wake up and mature and realize we make plans, and there's nothing wrong with making plans. We should make plans, but we make plans understanding that life is working for us, it's not against us. Okay, it's working for us, all in our favor. It's all working good. So you keep working on your ideas. You keep. I want to give you an assignment this week, or even starting this evening. See what your belief system is. If you don't like a thought, you tell that thought, "I can't believe you," because it's not my factual reality. That's something I do, and it helps when you find yourself in a mental whirlwind. Because you got 60,000 thoughts. Where I just had it. You got about let's see here. You have about okay, I don't see it. But you got about 60,000 thoughts going through your head a day. Okay, and you got to make sure that one of those thoughts don't take you captive. That's what happens. And you thinking the same. You can't get an idea for an invention because you got a dominant thought that's reigning in your head. Fear, unbelief, doubt. What do you feel about yourself? What do you believe about yourself? You don't know. You know why? Because the religion have caused you to beat yourself down. You already feel, oh, I can't, if he's giving you the same authority, it's the same authority. Don't diminish it. There's no presence outside of you. Christ in you. He's in you. Okay? So it has to be a knowing. We know that we already possess. 1 John, that's 1 John 5:15. I'm not preaching, but I'm coaching. Okay? We have it already. So why do you call people asking them to believe for something when 1 John 5:15 say you already possess it? You already have it. That's the awareness of happiness, knowing within, I have the desires that I'm believing for. I have the desires that I'm manifesting, but I'm leaving in an open mind just in case there's something better. Just in case there's something bigger, I'm leaving it open. So when things change in the midst of your planning, when things change, you're all right with that because you have an open mind. All right. Things are working for me. Creation is waiting for the manifestation. The universe is working. What is that? All of God work that. You are the universe. We're not out in space. We're in space. Okay. People say out there in space. No, we're in space right now because we're just there. Okay. Neurons are nerve cells. They carry electrical messages around your body. This is what neuroplasticity is all about. It's understanding rewiring, relearning, or renewing your mind. That renewing in means to renovate. You got the same thought patterns you had 20 years ago, and you've never stopped to examine those thoughts. You got stuff that you were told, Victor. Hey, okay, these are some of the folks, y'all, I've been knowing a long time that's been a supportive of me. So if I don't mention you when you come up, I can't see everybody. I have to do that because sometimes I have people, they're so precious. They say, well, I was on, but you didn't mention me. I said, I didn't see you. What platform were you on? I didn't see you. I only have 2 eyes. I can't see everything. All right. So neuroplasticity, you've got to relearn. I forgot who said it, but he said the greatest literacy would be in the last day, people don't want to relearn, unlearn, or learn. Relearn, unlearn, and learn. That which I knew yesterday, I make sure that it's not outdated information, okay? So I'm moving. You got to move. So I did 1 John 5:15. This is not a church platform, but it's a Christ awareness, okay? Thank you. Thank you. All right. You already possess it. So if you possess it, well, you want, brother, pray, sister, pray for this. I'm believing God for this. You have a confidence that he hears you. You see why we're missing it? Because it's so simple, and we don't heard so many different cliches and so many different high fives and so many different this and social media, and that it confuses and we think it's a hard journey. No, it's a matter of just accepting what it is, accepting who you are in him, okay? The I amness of God, the Christ on the universe. It's just accepting it on planet Earth. It's a matter, I accept that I already have it. When you act like you already have it, your attitude changes and you begin to see things from a different perspective. That's why I don't use the word need. I say prefer. The word need shows a lack. Okay. And we have to watch what words that we use. Even where does spelling come from? Spelling come from spell. Words can put a spell on you. Okay, we say spelling these words, but it originated from spell. Okay, words are spell, words are spirit, words are life. That's why don't play with it. Don't conform to what other people are saying. You talk a different narrative about your situation. Maybe somebody have been through the same thing you've been through. That's their narrative. Doesn't mean it's your narrative because your path is different. Your path is different from their path. Maybe they went through divorce similar to yours, lost a job, but you can't base on that because that's their path. That's why it's not good to compare yourself. And it's so normal, naturally normal, to find ourselves comparing ourselves to other people. That's not wise. Comparison will depress you. Comparison will make you feel that everybody else in the world is on top of the world, underneath you, and everybody's walking on you. That's what happens when you compare yourself. Don't compare yourself. When you're tempted to compare yourself, realize, no, that's their path. Somebody pull up with you with a brand new car. You may compare yourself. Don't do that. Okay, that's their path. That's what happiness is. That's the base of happiness, knowing who you are and knowing that he hears you, that you have this confidence and you walk in that level of happiness. Doesn't mean outside conditions, because when you depend on outside conditions, you're like a roller coaster. Okay, you're not going to control everything in life. So stop trying. You can't control stuff in life. Only thing you can control is your actions and your reaction. Again, your reaction, your brain is not supposed to rule you. You're supposed to rule it. It's time for you to come up and step forth and take control of your world. The reason why you're not getting your manifestation is because you're not in control of your mental world or your emotional world. It says, guard your heart. Guard your heart. What is the heart of you? Your subconscious mind. People say, well, Dr. Hugh, why do you talk about the mind? Because I'm trying to shift folks into the Christ mind, and there's nothing else but mind. What else is it? What else is it? Everything here came from somebody's mind. Everything's happening came out of it. We live in a mental world, okay? And that's where the battle is. The battle is in your mind, ain't with people. That's why you find yourself, you ever have little arguments in your mind? And sometimes you find yourself verbalizing it. Okay, but how many arguments you had today with people? Sometimes you people in 20 years and you still arguing with them. because something about the argument just never settled with you, or you never processed it, or you felt yourself as a victim. Okay. And so it comes up. It happened 7, 8 years ago, but it keeps coming up, and you find yourself in a whole new argument with the person, and you haven't even seen them since then. And someone may be dead, and you still argue with dead folks. Okay, this is wonderful. Stay there, stay with me now. I'm trying to get you there. Wonderful. It's not the normal church thing, and that's the problem, because that doesn't cause you to grow. So it's your heart inward conversation of the breeding ground of your desire. Okay. We have 100, talking about brain cells, we have 100 billion or so of them, and they can connect with 250,000 surrounding neurons because they're senders and receivers of information. There's always information going on in your head. 60 to 80, I think it's 60 to 80 thoughts a day. Well, I don't know, because it's moving, it's a fast-moving airport. Your mind, your brain's like airport, and every now and then, that's why think on these things that appear. You've got to already have patterns of positive thinking going on, because the brain needs patterns. The brain, we call them fillers, the brain has to fill in. That's why you have thoughts of craziness that you never thought. No, may not be nothing murdering or sexually. So, and sometimes you have those, and you're like, where did that come from? Okay, because sometimes we live in a mental world, so other folks' thoughts, other folks' mental energies every now and then come in your vibration. This is why you have to watch what you think and watch what you say and take charge of your life. Can I say it again? You have to take charge of your mental world. Okay? All right. Stop believing. I said this week. One of my mentors said this many years ago. Stop believing in God and start believing as God. Stop believing in God and start believing as God. Have the faith of God. The God kind of faith. Y'all believe in it, but you don't have the faith that he operated. He spoke those things, and it was the Christ, the source, however you want to, whatever you feel comfortable with. Higher power, Christ, the source. I respect that. You say, well, why do you do it? Because this is not a church platform, and I've got people on all walks of life, and I don't push no type of religion on anybody. I respect everybody. And most of them, they acknowledge the presence of Christ within. Then most of them, they do. Okay, even when it comes to Buddhism is older than Christianity. A lot of similarity. When Christ traveled 17 years, he spent a lot of time in India. That's stuff they didn't tell y'all. See, the God that you serve is the God that's in you, in your own expression of him. He said, when you see me, you see the Father. I saw God in Thomas Edison. I saw God in Henry Ford. I didn't know them, but because they was able to manifest and supply what history and what we would need on the earth, that was their expression of Christ. Oh, come on, somebody. Come on, help me, y'all. Like a baby trying to walk for the first time, neurons connecting from the brain to the muscles for balance. Okay? Again, stop believing in God and believe as God. Okay? All right. So I also talk about dominant thoughts when it comes to neuroplasticity. Renewing your mind. You got to look at me. It's a 24/7, 365 days a year. You get information. You get, of course, people say the Bible. That's the foundation, but you can't just do it with that. Because where we are now, and mentally what we're dealing with, it gave us a foundation, but some of you need counseling. Some of you need therapy. Because when that word therapy, oh no, I'm fine. That doesn't mean you crazy. That you just need help processing where you are or where you've been through or something to help you get there. And it's okay. All right. So if you need help, get it. Contact me. All right, I'm a certified psychology today coach, psychologist. So you can contact me. I can help you. You can't do it by yourself. Let me tell you this. You know why you're not your thoughts? Let me tell you why. Can you tell me your next thought? Can you tell me? I'm going to ask you again. Can you tell me your next thought? I know you're on hold waiting now. Can you tell me your next thought? Why? Because thoughts that pop up into your head, they come from your subconscious mind. So that means 98% of what you do each day is driven by your subconscious mind. Where do those thoughts come from? It comes from your subconscious mind. Where's your mind? Your mind's in your soul. Your soul houses the mind, which is in the brain. Where's the Christ mind? It's a higher level of thinking. It's the Christ mind, the ability to create. Come on, the ability to create. When he put Adam, you're supposed to, let me help you. You're supposed to create the environmental life that you want. You don't conform, but you transform into what your life that you want. It's a freedom living the life you want and not conforming or needing other folks' approval or needing other folks to sanction you. When are you going to start living your own? This is why you're miserable. You're living for other people. You're arguing with people in your head. You're arguing with your ex-husband. You're arguing with your ex-wife, your ex-boyfriend. You got an argument going. They're going on. You still arguing with these people in your head. They shouldn't have hurt you. You did, and they don't even know you. Come on, you're wasting your time. Move on. It happened. But just because it happened doesn't mean your perception of why it happened or how it happened is correct. So you've got to just go on and let it go. Hey, Shireen, how you doing? You have to go on and let that stuff go. Because the things that happen in your life, can I tell you something as a coach and as a psychologist? 85, 90% of it wasn't true. You said it was true. No, it's what you perceived to be true. And you're still acting, and your belief system is still based on your past experiences. This is why you won't believe for nothing big now, because the last time you believed for something big, it didn't happen. And let me tell you something. What trips you up in your manifestation of your desire, because you got your own plan, and I'm coming to tell you, it doesn't. You plan. But in business and wisdom, you plan knowing that things happen, and you may have to change your plan, reevaluate your plan, do some things right now and do some other things in the plan later. You got to maneuver, but you all are sitting depressed and all this kind of stuff, and you're not doing no work up here. You're waiting on an outside entity. You're waiting on a prophet or something like that to do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. Life is a do-it-yourself project. No, I don't knock all of that, because I do as a seer. But you've got to get it yourself. You don't wait for no seer or no prophet to come to town. No, you've got to go, because if you don't go within, you can't even get help from them folks. Physician, heal yourself. Even the doctor, you go to the doctor and you come in, 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, you don't catch them by the coattail, they're gone. But he just give you stuff to do it yourself. He's not going to be with you all your life. They give you instruction. They may give a medication plan or something like that. But it's a do-it-yourself. You got to wake up, do it yourself. You've never got up and did anything for yourself. You've always been depending on people. And this is why you keep getting kicked, because you're depending on people. You're not getting the right of it. You done been to every prophet in the area, wherever you live. And that's not what it's for. That's not designed for that. Get your mind off of that. Okay? Develop you. Learn about life skills. Some of y'all can't even cook. Come on, somebody. But you want to do this, you want to do that, and you've gone from 1st grade to 12th grade. What about 2nd, 3rd, 4th? It's a process of learning. So you got dominating thought. This is why you got to renew your brain. You got to relearn. You got to rewire and understand neuroplasticity of the brain. You got to change those pathways, those neuron pathways. You've got to change that, because there's a firing going on all the time. There's a constant firing. This is why even when you sleep, your mind, we call it monkey brain. You all over the place. You all over the place. 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day, and every now and then a thought captivates you. That's why you have to pull down those strongholds, because those thoughts, you've got a thought, that's a stronghold. It's a fear. It's a sexual thing. Let's be real. I'm a coach. I'll cover all areas. It's a habit. It's an addiction. It's a stronghold. Drug addiction is a stronghold. Alcoholism is a stronghold that only you can break. Only you can break. God's not going to renew your mind. You do it. There's nowhere that he said he's going to do. What he's going to do it for you. He said, be not conformed, but transformed through the neuroplasticity. neuroplasticity of your mind. You got to get more. You got to go outside of religious areas and get your mind changed. You got to learn about business. How in the world you're going to be a millionaire and you don't know anything about finance? You have no financial literacy, but you're right. I'm going to be a millionaire. No, you're not. You prepare for those things. Success comes to the prepared mind. Money comes to the prepared mind. Even Christ in his personal, he did not come until they were ready. Everything comes, the law of preparation. You have to prepare yourself. How you prepare yourself? You feed your mind. You learn. There's no God outside of you that's going to do anything for you. He's co-laborers. He does it with you. Get that crap out your mind. He's working with you. He's co-laborers with you. You do your part. He's able to do according to the power the power of thinking that you allow to work through you. The energy of God. We're energy just clothed in flesh. In him we live. In who? The Spirit of God. The presence of God is everywhere. In him we live, move, and have our being. Only devil is the devil you've created in your thought life. Woo. I've been on a roll there, y'all. Okay, got to take a break. Neuroplasticity, the scientific term of the biblical renew the mind. It's the brain ability to reconstruct itself after training and practice, thereby creating newer pathways in the human brain. Now, many of you, when I talk like this, you shut down. Your mind shut down right away. I don't understand what he's saying, and you swipe and go somewhere else. This is why you're where you are. It's not in a jump and a jump and a jump, and it's okay to do that. But you got to get some sense. You got to get some sense about you. If you don't learn of you're growing up, you're growing not at all. Well, you're always moving in a different direction. Let me keep moving here. Okay, let me take a break. All right. Okay. Our brain conforms to patterns. You've got some brain patterns that's going on. From your past, from your childhood, the way your father treated you, the neglect, the rejection, and you've been overriding that. And I'm saying you have to acknowledge it and move on. If you suppress it, it grows and it keeps going. And even as and I said again, I don't care how successful you become, you must develop. You have a lot of successful people that's undeveloped. You got people in all careers. You got people that are preachers that's undeveloped. Why are they doing the crazy stuff they're doing? Why? Shireen said, no, don't take a break. Thank you, Shireen. You wonder why even public figures do what they do. Politics, the religious community. How could they do that? Undeveloped. They're successful to a certain point, but they're still undeveloped. And you don't want to become successful and things are working. First of all, believe that it already is. It's already done. God's not doing anything. Show that to me. Show it to me. Show it to me. Everybody he met, he said, according to your faith. Because done confuses you. So you got to keep going back and need some people to pray. You don't need anybody to pray for you. You need to pray for yourself. And what is real prayer? Getting in a receptive mode. 1 John 5:15. We have this confidence that he hears us. So if he hears you, you don't need 20 people to help bombard. You think God is not holding out, and he's in you. Christ is not holding out on you. He's not playing a hide and go seek game. All right, you ain't got enough people. Go get 50 people and come back. No, people that lift me up in prayer, where do you get that from? Show that to me when it comes to the scientific prayer and believing to manifest. Somebody got to lift you up. You ought to be lifted up. You can't lift yourself up. They that wait upon the Lord shall mount up with wings as an eagle. Nobody lift you up. It's your narrative that you're giving. The narrative that you taught, and some of you so locked in to negativity. Okay, and as a victim, even your conversation on the phone, when you start on the phone, your whole energy is negative. How you doing? Well, I don't like that. Ain't no sorry here. Come into me. I'm going to know. How you doing? Well, I'm trying. How you trying to make it? You think you're going to make it by trying? You got to make it a made up mind that I'm making it. Ain't no, and you don't need nobody to help you make it. If on your way, if you come across somebody, fine. But life is a do-it-yourself project. Life is a do-it-yourself project. You have to do it in the renewing of the mind and understand neuroplasticity. You have to relearn. You have to rewire. You got to rewire your brain. You're upset at people. You're upset at your church. You're upset at God. You're upset at your therapist. You're upset at your coach because you're not doing the work yourself. You've got to do it. You got to work out your own stuff. People working out their own stuff. They're trying to get their own minds together. They ain't got time to keep, back and forth with you. Try. Thank you, Serene. I like that. Trying this line. Don't try. Just do it. Okay? It's hard. Now, rewiring your brain is hard. How long does it take to make new neuron pathways? About 3 months. So you get a path of thinking and you stay there. You stay there. And every time them negative thoughts come, don't say, Lord, move the thought. No, you got to move. He don't come down. He don't come down. Ain't nothing coming down. There's nobody coming down. Christ in you. They did that in the Old Testament because they didn't understand the infilling of the presence of God. So there they said, come down, rend the heavens and come down. They went through all of that. But in the New Testament, those in the religious community, the New Testament was a point of a time of empowerment and kingdom living. Empowerment. Okay? You have to do this stuff about 10,000 times repetitiously to start new pathways, neuron pathways, and get the other one. You have to keep doing it. That's why I don't play with certain things. I don't play with my confession. Certain things I don't play saying. I don't play with it because I believe the power of life and death is in the tongue, and you have to be concrete in it. If you don't want it, don't say it. If you don't want it, don't say it. If you don't wish it, don't say it. Because if you say it, be positive and negative, the law of attraction is going to bring it right to your front door. And you're trying to figure out how I got there, because even with Brother Job, he said the thing that he feared, it's the law of attraction. The thing that I feared, and this is why people are bored, because they're not getting results. This is what I teach. If you get it, I guarantee you will see tremendous results. Because it worked for me. I was an I'm not going to say I was an addict. I don't like to speak that. But I had a battle with addiction. It was this stuff that got me healed on the inside, and I became aware. It's an awareness of who you are. The presence of God within you, which is you. In you, you live. In him, you live, move. The whole energy of God is around you. We're nothing but energy. We're nothing but source energy and flesh. That's all we are. Representing the God that's in us as God. God in us, through us, as us. And you're looking at yourself in the mirror. That's not you. That's the house that you live in. The core of you is the I amness of you. The core of you is the Christ that's in you, not just God, because I don't just use the term God. I was coaching one of my clients from India, and I mentioned God, and she's like, well, who are you talking about? They have over 2,000 gods over there. So that changed me. Just can't say that, but I have to say source or whatever people feel, higher power, Christ, whatever bring you to awareness that there's another power on the inside, and there's a Christ power on the inside working with. For decades, scientists thought the adult human brain was static and unchanging. It was presumed that the brain developed in the formative childhood years and then became hardened like concrete. Hence, we understand your brain is not, let's see here. Okay. See, what happened, also something we call, thank you. Again, go over to those that's on, hit like. I don't have any major companies right now, organizations right now that's backing my personal development company. Thank you for those that donate at times. I'm not finished. I just want to do a station break. Thank you for donating, but I need you to hit that like button. Listen. I need y'all to go over to my YouTube page, D. Leonard Hughes Personal Development Institute. And I need you to hit that like button on that also. We're trying to build this company to change mind. Stay with me. If you get this and you begin to renew your mind through neuroplasticity, okay? You begin to renew your mind, you see change. When you develop, things change. When you develop what you're believing that you already have. I didn't say believing that's coming. Is nothing coming. You already have it. This is the concreteness of your faith. This is the concreteness of your faith that I already have it. This is the concrete of your faith. And renewing your mind, you already know that I'm relearning. I'm rewiring my brain. See what happened? Get this. Your brain is not against you. But three things it does when there's a situation: fight, freeze, or flight. Take off, freeze, or let's fight. Those are the three emotional areas you're going to go into. So we've got to rewire. Your brain was made because thousands of years ago, they called caveman brain. Your caveman brain is lightning fast in your reaction to threats, but it's far from enlightened. Because the cavemen, they didn't have what we have. So their brain became so sensitive to a threat. And throughout the genes, it's already there. So our brain stays in a move of threat. Somebody look at you wrong, they don't like you. Somebody say something, because you're always in a threat in your mind. Caveman brain. Okay? Its job is to recognize threats. The brain's job is to recognize threats and to keep you safe. It is a trigger happy, trigger handy, great for when you're facing a tiger, but not so great when there's a threat. When the threat is a threat is just a threat to the brain. Okay. All neural pathways that we are no longer using become a road less traveled in our minds. Issues, wounds of rejection, hurt, anger, depression, bitterness, resentment, habits, addiction will be dismantled and able to govern a renewed mind that has been utterly, radically transformed. That's what repent means, a radical change. I'm doing more of a Christ in the Christian community to help you all today. I do that at times. But repent means having a radical change in your thinking, your ideas, and your emotions. A radical change. When given free rein, our minds spend a significant amount of time rehashing negative memories and imagining negative futures. This mental wandering or worrying occurs largely undetected, making it particularly dangerous, okay? So the brain is always a radical change. That's what repent is. Repent. They didn't have it right. And the only thing it did was turn folks out. I sent out over 12,000 mental wake-up people from all walks of life. I got some Muslims. I got some Buddhism. I got some, just all walks. Business folks to sex folks, that's from all walks of life. And they're realizing that the more you develop, Jalen, others, the more you develop you, getting to self-help, personal development, reading. I was reading one of my mentors from India. He wrote over 100 books on meditation and being mindful. You got to learn how to steal your mind. Something I do when I'm really got my mind, the monkey brains are really going. I think of 4 colors: purple, gold, yellow, green. Purple, gold, yellow, green. That's what I start saying. Purple, gold, yellow, green. And it dissipates all that stuff. Think about it. Purple, gold, yellow, green. It puts your mind, at a place, because you can't manifest your desires when you're stressed, depression, worried, when all of these other things are going on. Okay. What are you worried about? You just got to trust. And that goes for all of us. Okay? He's a very present. Where is God? He's in you, we know. But what really gets it, the energy going of God, is when you become present. He's a very present help in the time of trouble. Present. I don't care what's going on without your day. Take our time and become present. Become mindful of your now. Because if not, you'll live all over. Yellow, gold. What I said, yellow, gold, yellow. Serene, you got me confused. Gold, yellow, green. Purple, gold, yellow, green. Purple, gold, yellow, green. Purple, gold, yellow, green. When I find my mind, I stop and I start thinking in a big color, right in the order: purple, gold, yellow, and green. And it dissipates worry, fear, and anxiety. You got to always do things to dissipate all of that stuff in your head, because dis-ease in your mind causes disease in your body. And you're trying to figure out why this happening, why that happened, why this happened, why that. If you stop, the presence of God within, of the universe, which you are, will let you know give you an idea. It doesn't tell you everything. Line upon line. Y'all know how it goes. Gives you just, okay, I understand that. But it always giving you something to keep working at. You got to keep working at it. Okay? While thinking can indeed serve us well, it is unhelpful and even harmful when we fall into mental ruminating about questions that do not have. You don't have the answer to everything. Okay? We don't have the answer to everything. Moving along. Y'all stay with me. Got a few more minutes. Okay? Okay. For we know that with the mind, that we have the mind, mindfulness, meditation. Now, words, if I meditate, what? Then the mind runs on the same tracks. You got to change the tracks. You got to change the tracks. Okay. Repent, metanoia, means a radical change of attitude towards life. A radical change. Can y'all? I did all of my notes. Wow, that's unusual. You have something left over. So, in my closing, okay, renewing your brain through neuroplasticity. Okay, rewiring, getting the right information in there. Okay, get it purple, gold, yellow. I think I'm back. I think I am back. Would somebody let me know if I'm back? We're dealing with technology. Somebody let me know if we are back or not. Just comment. Just comment. Okay, thank you. All right. Had nothing to do with it. That's, you know how that is. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay. Work on, you've got to, and especially the millenniums that I have on, like Jalen and others on other platforms, all you got to do is work on you. Don't conform, but transform on a different level. You've got to get outside. I keep telling folks, you can't make it. What you all are seeing out there in the religious community is not empowering. It's not empowering. You got to get stuff in you that's going to empower you to, what do you want? Thank you. What do you want? Well, I just want what the Lord wants. That's not what you're supposed to say. Thank you. There you go, Tanisha. There you are. Thank you, Shireen. All of y'all, thank you. What do you want in life? And I want to say this before I close. What is the narrative? Every time you talk to somebody, what are you talking about? Now, if you've got a coach or a spiritual advisor, or a psychiatrist, or something like that, a counselor, okay. But going a whole narrative of people just in general, soon as you meet somebody, you go to talking. For what? For what? No, the narrative you give has, again, unless you're in a situation with people that understand that you're trying to get. So with those of us that's making it and those of us that's scaling to a higher level of success, we're under people. We got a few people that we're helping, even in the Airbnb business. They're going into the business. I don't have a problem helping people like that because they're calling with information. We're not having to call to see this and see that. So you gotta get something. You gotta find your niche. That's what I want to say. You have to, hey Ruth, you have to find your niche and move on. Because if not, what this stuff you're seeing out here in the religious community, in the church community, political community, it'll have you wondering, you want a one-way ticket to Mars or Jupiter, Saturn somewhere. Okay, hello, Ruth. Let's at the end, I always give a short commentary of what's happening around us. A lot of things happening. They're upset at Hunter Biden, but he did a plea. You do a plea, and it's crazy what we're experiencing politically. It's crazy because what happened to what the Constitution is? These new folks, if they could do away with the Constitution, they would. And the Trump administration, and in the beginning, I was a supporter of him. Let me say this. I was a supporter of his policies. When you're dealing with politics, you have to look at the person's policies. And I believe there was a purpose for him because God puts up one and takes down another. There was a purpose for former President Donald Trump, but somewhere he got off. His desire to be dictator, I believe that desire began to grow stronger. Okay. And understanding that, and when you get that going, if something happens in drawing people and taking folks' mind, and you've got some of the most, supposedly the most brilliant minds in Washington. And you wonder, McCarthy and Marjorie Green, she's been quiet last couple of days. The other one, Barbara, whatever his name, and he's supposed to be. Now, I won't really say they're brilliant minds. Let's say that. That's not because you get elected to an office doesn't mean you have a brilliant mind. It means you know how to talk a good game in many ways. And because that's what a lot of them do. They talk good game, but once they get office, they really don't care about the people. So many things are happening. George Santos was back in court today. I think a 5 minutes hearing. Even with that situation, he should have been out of the House of Representatives. He should have been out, but they need his vote. They would rather have a vote than have integrity or ethics when it comes to our country or come to our House of Representatives or Congress. You understand what I'm saying? He was in court today. I think he goes back to court in September. I think it's September 17th. He's back in court with that. So we're going to see what happens. It's a shame. He should have been expelled out of the House of Representatives, but they need his vote. That's what it's all about. It's not about the people. It's not about morals. It's not about character. It's no longer about ethics, not just in the political world, but also in the church world. There's no ethics. Just do whatever you want to do, and everybody's supposed to understand. Man, come on. It's not supposed to be. I may go a few minutes over, but I want to talk to you a little bit because there's so many disturbing things, even in the church. People doing everything publicly, disrupting the service. I'm going to talk about it. Publicly disrupting a service. Not going to go into details. But what about if you're a preacher and you feel that you have been done wrong in your contract or whatever, you take it to court. Okay, you take that to court. It has to be a concern, y'all, for the people. I'm going to be honest with you. These guys don't care nothing about you all. They're about becoming a position of themselves, becoming a bishop or something, whatever you want to call it. That ain't nothing but a pastor of pastors. It's nothing but a desire. It's not, they got to be real with you. Shireen said, think of being real. It's not a part of the fivefold ministry. It's only desire. And then some folks are bishops, just their own church. Some folks are apostles of their own church. Come on, Smith Wigglesworth and others, they were true apostles. They shake the whole earth. Are you listening? So what's going on in the political world, you got to see it. But you got to realize that there's something else happening, that the kingdom, the whole time, the kingdom is being ushered in, but the church is still having church. We're not supposed to be in the church just to rule. We're supposed to be kingdom-minded. Kingdom-minded means we're ruling. We got cooperation. So much is going on in the corporate world. Why? Because we're out of place. We're supposed to have those companies. Startup. There's so many startup companies. Man, tech companies. Where are we? We're the church. It's not a church platform, a religious platform, but it's a Christ awareness. Okay? And McCarthy, let's go back to the politics. McCarthy gave all his powers away. Even if you're right. Now a lot of them, and I don't share this information for any party. I just give you the information you decide. Now we've got to admit that President Biden, and I'm not pushing him, I'm just pushing what he's done. If he done it, he done it. That's it. If Trump did it, he did it and made it better. That's fine. But it was a Bidenomics, and the economy is a little better. The economy is a little better. Since he has been in, there are more jobs. I'm trying to get some of the things, but things are a little better. We got to admit, things are better. Policy is more in favor of focusing on middle class people. Those of us that's moving in wealth, we understand that, but we cannot forget about those the policies in politics for the real people. And that right-wing MAGA is crazy. That's a cult. That's Trump's party. And you have some Republicans that's trying to hold up the Constitution of America. And it's so sad. You see it in the politics, you see it in church, and it have always been, but social media, even with the cops, but social media, and I'm so glad that they're holding law enforcement officers to accountability as best as they can. There's still a lot to be done. That's why keep your phones out. You see something, you video. Know your rights. Know your rights. Now they get mad at you when you know your rights, but you still know your rights. You try to comply, but you still have to know your rights and where we are, because we're getting closer. We're getting closer to a new election. I'm not going to get into that too much, but there's a lot to be desired, and we've got to get back to the basics of the glue that held this country together. We've got to get back to what helped this country together. Don't ignore it. See what's going on. Just sit back and look. I'm always on the news, always YouTube news. Because I want to see what's going on with the Trump situation. Got to know he's in big trouble. I think it was Bill Barr that said he's toasted. Yeah, he's toasted. He's really toasted, and I don't know. And you still got a group of people. It's like a cult. It's almost like a cult. The way he have their minds like a cult have people's minds. But those of us that are wise. And we're looking to the Christ within. We've got to know where our help is. We're grateful for the government. We're grateful for our politicians, and there are some that are good. There are some that really want to make a difference. Very few, some. Most of them get in there, and before you know it, they get swept away with the perspective and the mindset of those that's already in there. It's been a wonderful experience. This is what I want to do. I want to ask you all to stand with me today. For $11.11, 1111. That's angel numbers. That's a different. I'll deal with that with you different. I need about 50 people that would do that on today on all the platforms. $11.11. The information is on the bottom. I did have my Cash App. I don't do this all the time, but when I do it, I feel it. Because you're releasing your money into good grounds, and you're tapping into the wisdom, and you're tapping into your personal development that this company brings you. So I need about 50 of you today that would do the $11.11, 1111. It's an angel number, certificate moment for an event to occur. It has an example of synchronicity. 1111 is a synchronicity number. It's going to look at the bottom. Shireen, thank you, sis. Look at the bottom. You should see it. I had the QR code, but I don't know what happened to it. But something about that 11. See, there's things that's synchronizing. There's no such thing as coincidence. It's synchronizing, synchronicity. It's synchronizing. So this $11 is going to begin to start synchronizing in the finance. These are angel numbers. 1111 is an angel number. These are angel numbers. And as you begin to operate in this angel numbers, things begin to synchronize. Synchronicity. There's no coincidence for those of us that are kingdom people. We flow and we observe everything. Because everything is synchronized. I had you may think they don't understand it, but I had a rabbit in my backyard that kept appearing 2 times the other day, 1 time yesterday, kept just staring at me, just staring. So I laughed, but then I began to see what rabbits represent. And when I looked, it was right on time. So you got to synchronize things. That's going to be for my group. Now I need you to go over to Dylan and Hughes Personal Development Group on Facebook. Get in that. We got some things that's coming up. Some really in-depth stuff to really get some things working for you that I don't do on this platform. I keep it basic on this platform. She said, that's my grandma's birthday, 11/11. All right. Now, some of y'all going to go out and play 1111. 1111. That's up to you. I don't get into that. That's your business. Only thing you win, remember, Dylan Hughes Personal Development Institute. Okay. All right, do that 1111. Go do it now. Timing is important. You can do 111. You can do 11,000 if you want. It doesn't matter. But support our company on the base that is changing. Is a transformation of your mind, not a base on you getting this or somebody doing this or somebody telling you this. No, you're just doing it because, hey, this is helping me. It's changing me. And I want to invest into it. That's what people do with companies and SPAC when it comes to merging and all of that. You know, they invest in a company. They believe in a company. I want you to believe in Dylan Hughes Personal Development Institute. Okay, we're in one prison now in Florida. Every day, the daily mental wake up that you all receive is going in a prison. I tested it in a prison and it just took off. So I need equipment. I need stuff. No, I don't need. I prefer. Don't use the word need because that shows lack. I prefer equipment. I prefer the things that I desire to get where I need to get. I want to cover all the prisons. They also in the prisons you can do podcasts. I think Tony Evans, where my wake up is going, I think on the podcast, Tony Evans and many of them, Les Brown, let them come in on that. I want to do that, and I need your help to do that. It's just going to take me connecting and then getting the equipment. I can do the podcast, I believe, because I've got the equipment. Just other things I want to keep updated as we go. So that 1111 is going to help me. There's donation, Cash App, $, Faith Prophetic, and there is a set. Now, if you sense to do more, don't just do the 11. If we're really helping you, and you see that there's a change in your mind, go to the Cash App, go to Cash App and Zelle, and do that. Okay, all right. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I've enjoyed this time together and sharing. Be back next week, 7:30. Hit that like button. Go over to YouTube, Dylan and Hughes Personal Development Institute. Hit that like button. We don't have any major companies yet, corporations yet, supporting our business. All we have is you supporting Dylan and Hughes Personal Development Company. But if you hit that like, on all the platforms, not just there, but all the platforms, get like for us, okay? We appreciate. Listen, I look forward every week coming to you guys, sharing. I'm the mind hacker. I am the mind hacker, hacking mind. That's my passion. That's my position in this life on planet Earth, okay? Appreciate you all. Thankful for you all. So thankful for this sharing, the time that we share. Dylan and Hughes here. Thank you for listening. Peace out. Don't forget that 1111, the angel number. Angel number. Let's see what it manifests.